Oh, well, hello there, friends and family. Didn't see you walk on in. We came at a good time. We're about to make some of our, my great-grandmother called it magic tea. And it's a tea that she used to make up in fall, early fall. And she made it up to help boost your immune system, fortify it. She called it a fortifying tea. And first time I remember ever seeing her make it and drink it, I was just a little bitty boy. Now I do remember she's saying this wasn't her recipe. She got it from her grandmother. Now over the years, newer generations of the family have added things to it. So let me show you what we got put together here, and we'll take it on from there. The first thing we got here is some red Reishi mushrooms. Now this particular variety is from Japan. Now I have to say this, I don't think my great-grandmother was ordering her mushrooms from Japan. She most likely went out into the woods in the mountains of Pennsylvania and gathered hers from the forest. You can find Reishi mushrooms in most of North America. They grow on decaying trees that are laying dead in the forest. Fallen trees, logs, limbs and such. Then what we have is Shiitake mushrooms. Most of you are probably familiar with them. Now this was not in my great-grandmother's original recipe. My mother and father added this into the mix. And like the Reishi mushrooms, the shiitakes also have immune boosting properties. The third major ingredient is eucalyptus, which is used in the treatment of respiratory illnesses such as bronchitis, emphysema. And then what we have is an onion, some ginger, fresh, some turmeric, thyme, oregano, some black pepper, and some sea salt. Now all or most of these ingredients have anti-inflammatory properties. Now I don't claim to be no expert. I have studied herbal medicine, Eastern medicine, since about 1989. And then I'm coming across this here family recipe. I studied it, and I can see the wisdom in the ingredients. And I've been making this tea for about 40 years. In fact, it's more of a broth than a tea, but great-grandma always called it tea. So, you're also going to need a pot with some water in it that we're going to be starting to bring to a boil. Now I'm going to need to chop up these mushrooms because I need a quarter cup of each. I've got some garlic there that I got to get peeled and chopped, as well as some onion and some ginger. So once I get all that done up, I'll come back. We'll start putting this here tea together. So y'all stay with me. Okay y'all, we're back. I went ahead and got those Reishi mushrooms chopped up, just a rough chop. Got the shiitakes here, roughed up. Like I say, that's a quarter cup of each. Went ahead and got a half a cup of fresh ginger sliced, then given a coarse chop. Got my one onion here, cut up and in slices. And I went ahead, and I forgot to mention this when we were going through the ingredients, 1 bulb of garlic, all coarsely chopped. Now this is one time you can leave the skins on too. Like I say, this is a tea, and we'll be straining it when we get her all cooked up. I've also got over here a pot of water coming up to a boil. So let me get you set up, and let's start adding this all in and get this going. So folks, as you can see, that water's coming up to a boil, and this ain't hard. All you do, we're going to slide on in these here Reishi mushrooms, shiitakes, and the ginger. Then, to that, we're going to be adding in the onions and chopped garlic. Got that all on in there. Now we're going to start putting in the other ingredients. The next thing we're going to be adding there is the eucalyptus leaves. Now, I do want to tell you all this. Whatever you do, do not use eucalyptus oil. Eucalyptus oil is poisonous. These are cut up eucalyptus leaves, and we're going to put a heaping tablespoon of those in there, just like that. Next, we're going to be adding in the ground turmeric. We're going to be putting us in about a tablespoon of that too. Right on in there, just like that. Next, tablespoon of thyme. Now this is thyme leaves, not ground thyme. See? Thyme leaves. Then we're going to add a tablespoon of oregano. Here again, oregano leaves, not ground oregano. Plop that right on in there. So now, we're going to be adding us in a tablespoon of sea salt. And the last ingredient is going to be a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Let me bring you over here and show you what we got. So you can see we got all the ingredients in there. We got those reishi mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, eucalyptus leaves, the garlic, the onions, the turmeric, oregano, thyme, everything's in there. Now what we're going to want to do now is we're going to be letting this simmer. I'll give it a good mix. We'll let this simmer for 30 minutes and we'll come back. I can already tell you, it's smelling really good. Okay y'all, we're back, and as you can see, we've had this simmering for 30 minutes. I just shut the burner off. So now what we've got to do is get it strained into a container. So I'll get y'all set up and we'll get this strained. So y'all hold on. So y'all, what I've got here is I've got a strainer with a coffee filter in it over a 2-quart plastic container. And here is the tea we've been simmering. And I would suggest you do this over your sink, because you might miss. We're just going to put it through that coffee filter. We're just going to let it sit there and drain a bit. Let all that goodness drain on out. Filter through that coffee filter. And that's what we got left. Now like I said, if that didn't have the Reishi mushrooms in it and the eucalyptus, you'd have your makings for a nice base for soup. But we're going to let that continue to strain down through that coffee filter. And it's going to take a few minutes for it to strain down through there. Now, this is a concentrated tea at the moment. As soon as that gets done, we'll be adding more water to dilute it down. And this makes approximately 2 quarts of tea. So we'll bring you back when we're ready to add the water and finishing it up. Okay, y'all, we finished straining out all the solids from that tea, and what we have left is a concentrated tea mixture. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is add some filtered water. Fill your container up. Like I say, this is a 2-quart pitcher, plastic. And we're just going to run some filtered cold water from our Brita filter into it. And then we're going to give it a good stir. And it'll be ready to drink. Now, this is a savory tea. Like I said, it's more like a broth than a tea. So if you like it sweet, my great-grandmother never did, my grandmother, but my mother did. She liked her sweet, so she'd add honey. And you can do that too. And on occasion, I do as well. I add a little bit of raw honey to each cup that I drink. Now I do like it hot, so I heat it up in the microwave. But that's about it. I'm going to pour me up a glass here. We'll let you know how it tastes. So I went ahead and got me a coffee cup. Got this poured off in that pitcher. I'm just going to go ahead and fill up the coffee cup full. Now my great-grandmother always said drink at least 1 cup, either in the morning or the evening. And I know she drank 2 cups of this a day. Now like I say, it is a strong and savory tea. So if you want, sweeten it up with some honey. We have some right here. And you can do it just like my mama used to. So let's take a sip and see what it tastes like. Okay, y'all, got it right here in the cup. I will say, even diluting it down, it's pretty strong. And it is real savory. But it is quite tasty. So y'all, I don't claim to be no doctor, nor do I play one here on YouTube. It's just an old family recipe that we've made for 5 or 6 generations. It's always seemed to work for us. Like I said, I've been suffering from a sinus infection, chest cold, and I've already made up 1 batch of this, been taking it, and I can tell you this, my sinus infection's gone. My chest sure does feel a lot more, less heavy and open. So I know it's working. But I do know some of the ingredients are rather unusual, like the reishi mushrooms, the shiitake mushrooms, and the eucalyptus leaves. And I will be providing a link to the benefits and or any side effects in the description below the video, so you can take a look at them, see if they're right for you. And as always, I do hope you'll try it. If you so decide, it'll be a benefit to you. And until then, y'all take care. I wish you all great health and happiness. And God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye for now.